Hey everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds, and today we're going to do a mini haul, and I'm going to show you some of those ceramics that I keep talking about. I think I'm going to keep it to just like 5 ceramic things, and I'm going to show you my mini haul first, which was amazing. 4 items, basically spent $38.96. The value is around $395 or $400. So 10 times my money on 4 items. Let's get started. Okay, so gosh, I don't even know where to start. I think I'm going to start with one of the paintings. This thing, I got 2 of the 4 things are art. This is amazing. So this, you probably can't see it because it's signed in some weird way that you have to like angle it exactly to be able to see the signature. So it's signed in this corner on the painting in like gold. I don't know if you can be able to see it, but it is John Powell and it is number 39 of 95. So it is a numbered print, okay, like a canvas print. But the way they do those is once they say they're going to make 95 of them, they only make 95 of them in that size. They can make bigger, they can make smaller, and they can, you know, have different numbers for that. But this is number 39 of 95 printed of this beautiful cottage path. That is the name. It's actually called Country Path. Sorry about that. So, a few things about this thing. John Powell, famous artist. And I'm going to read a couple things, and then I'll tell you about the value, what I spent, etc. So John Powell, he worked in the arts throughout his life. He's from California. He's born in Hollywood, began to paint at the age of 16. Over the past 60 years, he's been painting. His stuff is in galleries all over. So it says, over the past 60 years, he's melded his life experience into a signature style of painting. His paintings are precise and intricate, laced with lyrical realism and expressing his love for color, flowers, gardens, pottery, and art from around the world, yada, yada. It doesn't say yada, yada. John has had, sorry, I amused myself. John has had several one-man shows in the United States and Japan. He was honored by the World Federation of United Nations during their 50th anniversary celebration, being chosen as Artist of the Year, and his work was added to the permanent collection of the Philatelic Museum at Palais des Nations in Geneva, Switzerland. His paintings are included in many notable private collections as well as museums throughout the world. He is still alive. He lives in Santa Ynez, California. So I paid a little bit up because I recognized that it was something. I paid $19.99 for this beautiful framed piece of art. Now, I said I was going to say a couple things. Number 1, Goodwill messed up the frame. Number 2, this last sold this size framed, this exact thing for $250. Okay, there have been listings higher. I think $250 is a reasonable estimate. This frame is gorgeous. It's gilded. Somebody before me, they had the price taped on over here. You can see this area here. And somebody had pulled it up to look at it. That was not me. When I found it, it was like this. The rest of the tape was taped on the top. Now notice, that's fine. So when I got this home, I used my hairdryer. And heat with the tape, it will loosen up the seal, and it was easy to pull the tape up without pulling any of the gold off. Unfortunately, and I will have to disclose this in the listing, you can see that the gold paint on the frame was pulled off in this area, which is unfortunate. Otherwise, this piece is perfection. The frame is beautiful. It's got the gallery that it was purchased from on the back, which was in Pennsylvania. It's got the name of it, Country Path, etc., etc. It's very bright, it's very vibrant, it's very beautiful, and I am very happy. So that'll probably get listed sometime this week, maybe. I've been listing a lot of clothes, trying to get through my giant pile of clothing, and I need to now work on some of the other things. But anyway, Super exciting, probably my most exciting thing. That same trip, this was Thursday afternoon, I went out, I had an hour or so. I stopped by the thrift store on my way home. I had to go into the office. Anyhow, two really, really exciting finds at this thrift store. That was one. And this is going to be the other. This kind of ties into our whole ceramic discussion for later. So this is a ceramic halibut plate. Okay. It is by the artist Carolyn. Now it says Carolyn on the back, and it's Carolyn Kike, oh boy, this is going to get me. Kikehafer, Kieckhafer. She is from the Pacific Northwest. Her company, her pottery company is called Wild Lake, I believe. Wildcat Lake Pottery in Bremerton, Washington. She is probably around my age. It says maybe a little bit older. It says she was in college in 75, finishing up college in 75. So I finished college. Yeah, she's way older than me. It's like, I finished college in 85. Anywho, 84, something like that. So, plate. She, there was a really cool article about her that I found from 1990, and at that point it said she'd been in business for 15 years. It talked about her path, and she was doing a lot of hand forming and doing a lot of wheel pottery, etc. And she was becoming very popular. She was selling at street fairs in the Northwest, and she was trying to up her production. So back at the time when presses, like pottery presses and stuff, were coming into fashion, she used someone else's, and then she had her own made, and basically was able to up her production by creating these plates and molds. It was only a 2 foot by 2 foot plate that she bought her press, like it was a smaller press. So she would press the things and then hand finish them. So I think that's how this guy got done, because I see a lot of them that are very similar in shape, but they all have different colors. So I think this design and stuff was probably pressed, but then when it came out, she most likely took this tail and hand connected it back to here, because I don't think that's something that's pressable, and it has design on both sides. So it talks about how she hand finished her pieces and she hand signed all her pieces. So I got this beautiful plate, which was just sitting there on the bottom shelf. Of course, I was just like, oh, it's amazing. So I paid $5.99 for this. Okay. Now there are listed and sold all over the place. One sold for $49. One sold for $125. And there's listings in between. So there's one listed right now for $58. The exciting thing is that is on Etsy, not eBay. The exciting thing is right now, there's none listed on eBay and 2 or 3 sold. So that's really, really good. That means that as soon as one goes up, it sells, or in a short time. So I paid $5.99. I told you they're selling definitely, I think I can easily get $59 for it. So, 10 times the investment. I'm probably going to shoot a little higher to start with. So anyway, that was my second thing, super exciting. And then the third thing in there was not quite as exciting, but I thought it was really cool. And this is a little toothpick holder, match holder, whatever you want a holder. It's a little urn, and it is something called acro agate. It's slag glass. And this company, acro agate, was known for making marbles. And like back in, I want to say the turn of the century, but the turn of the other century, through the 1930s. I think they started in 1911. And then they merged with another company, I think in the 30s. But this guy was made for a company called Vogue Mercantile in New York. They were kind of a reseller of different pottery and glass and things like that. And this actually says at the bottom, NYC, Vogue Merc Co. USA. So it's stamped for the Vogue Mercantile Company, but it was made by Acro Agate. So yeah, it's cool. And what's really, really cool, and I didn't bring my little black light thing, it glows under black light a little bit. I mean, it's not like super bright in your face, but if you have the lights down and you shine a black light on it, it glows. So that's kind of cool. So I paid $2.99 for this, $2.99. These are selling around $15, $14.99, $15.99. And they are selling. They come in a few different colors. But I just thought it was really cool. I'd never seen Acro Agate. I have heard people speak of it. And I just thought it was really cool. So that was that. And that was the 3 things I found on Thursday. And then I went Friday. After work, I just needed to get out of the house. And I only found one thing. And this one I don't know as much about yet, but I know it's something. Oops, hang on. All right, so it is another painting kind of thing. The artist is super famous for serigraphs and his colored stuff. His name, let me see if I can find where I wrote this, Anatol Krasniansky, and he's from Ukraine. This particular piece is called Rapture 2. He has a Rapture 1, and it is like etched in metal. But the quality of this, I don't know if you can see it. It's got really cool design. It's kind of like it was pressed into metal, but what's really interesting is each of the different areas has a different texture. And it is signed, let's see which side. There, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. It's signed a, whatever I said his name was. It's really hard to pronounce. But anyway, it's metal. The frame is also nice. The matting, it has some dings in it from probably being thrown around in a thrift store. So, you know, I will disclose in the listing that they'll probably want to get it rematted, reframed. The frame, like you can see the bottom corner of this frame is a little bit chewed up. So there's definitely some condition issues. That's in a couple of the other corners as well. But the piece itself is spectacular. The listings that I've seen are usually matted and framed closer in. I haven't seen one with this big a mat for this piece, but this is metal. I paid $9.99 for it. And again, it's really hard to get a value because that particular piece, there's, I think, 1 or 2 that sold, but they're on gated sites like WorthPoint. And then there's other auction sites where they don't tell you how much it sold for unless you join their mailing list or pay them money or something. So I can't find an exact sold on it, but others by this artist are pretty good, really high actually. So the last one that I found that I think there's a sold on was $199. I think there's probably some that are less. I think that his colored work, his serigraphs, a lot of the color pieces that are similar to that, but colored in beautiful colors and whatnot, and not on metal. They're, you know, actually on some other media. Those fetch really good money. The metal ones, they seem to be more rare, but they also don't seem to be as desirable. So I just don't know. But I know for $9.99 it was a really good investment because that piece is beautiful. And even if I get $50 for it, I'll be super happy. So with those 4 things, my investment was $38.96. And I am anticipating 10 times that. So I'm anticipating between the 4 things right around $390 to $400. So that was a pretty exciting week, even though it's only 4 things. I was trying to limit my buying this week and probably for the next week or 2, we'll see, because I've got to get stuff listed and I've got to get stuff sold. I did sell, I think, 4 things so far this week. And I think I counter offered on 1. I haven't heard back, so I don't know if that one's going to sell or not. So definitely 4 things, but I need to be selling more than that. So I need to be listing more than that. All right, let's get into ceramics. I'm going to keep it pretty short. I'm just going to talk about 4 things, 2 of which I haven't identified the manufacturer yet, which is really frustrating. First one I want to talk about is Bill Campbell. I don't know if I had been doing these videos yet when I sold the second Bill Campbell piece I had. I had a vase a long time ago, but I can't find any pictures of it, so we're going to skip that. This one is a Bill Campbell mug, and this is the only one that I actually have on paper. Everything else I've got actual something. Well, all right, 3 out of the next 4 I have to show you in actuality. But anyway, Bill Campbell is super famous. His stuff is super popular. It sells for crazy money. This one, now most of his stuff is signed with a swoosh, like it says Campbell, but it's like, it just looks like somebody's heartbeat. It looks like a big scribble. And so I was thrown off when I got this, when I saw this, when I got this. The bottom was stamped and it said W. Campbell, and it was just like an ink stamp kind of thing. So I sent it into one of the pottery groups on Facebook, and I was like, hey guys, did Bill Campbell ever use a stamp? Because I haven't seen anything like this before. And they're like, yup, that's Bill Campbell. You know, can't miss that glaze. So he had very distinctive glazes. And like I said, his stuff is very, very sought after. I think I had this listed for less than a week. When I listed it, I bought it for $1.99. I had it listed at like $45, I think, and it sold for $39. So from $1.99 to $39, that's insane. And it's a mug for $39, right? So his vases go for more. Just keep your eyes open for Bill Campbell. It's one of those things you want to be on the lookout for. A lot of the resellers are aware of Bill Campbell, so it's pretty rare to come across one out in the wild, but you know, you never know. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. All right, I'm going to share with you now one of my, I have 2 here that are my absolute favorite pieces that I have not yet listed. I have not listed them because I cannot find the artist. I may just have to say I give up. On this one, I have messaged so many people that had similar things, being like, is this yours? And every time, nope, not mine. Nope, not mine. So this is a vase. It has 3D ladybugs on it. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there. So it's got 4 3D ladybugs on it. The glaze is kind of greens and browns. The ladybugs are part of the clay, but they are raised and they are painted, glazed separately. I love this vase, like love it. I would keep it, but I'm not going to. I just don't need another vase. And it's signed at the bottom, and it's got a weird signature, and it looks like it says 015 or 615. I have no idea what this is. So that is the bottom. I just don't know. So if you know who made this, let me know. To me, it is something. It's just, the quality is unbelievable. It's definitely not a student piece. I mean, it is just really well done by someone who knows what they're doing. So I'm just not sure how to list it. I'm thinking I'll probably list it around 89 when I decide to list it. Right now, I'm still enjoying looking at it for a little bit, but I'm still hopeful that someone out there will know who made this and can let me know. So if you know who made this, let me know. But this is definitely one of my top ceramic finds. It's a beautiful piece. I don't remember how much I paid for it. It may have been in an auction lot. I'm going to need to go back and look through my records and figure out when I actually got this piece. I know I've had it a while because I know I've been trying really hard for a really long time to figure out who made it. I've searched out everybody on the internet that's basically put 3D ladybugs on things and asked if it's theirs, and it's not. So anywho, that is one of my favorite. Before we get to my next favorite, I'm just going to show you something else really cute. So this one I did find at a Goodwill. It doesn't really look like much. It's Studio Pottery. It is signed Studio Pottery. I don't know who the signature is, but when you open it, it's really interesting. Like, it's like, what the heck is that, right? But there's a piece of paper in there. And the artist actually says what it is. This is Marisol Potters, is the artist, as she throws it across the table. It is a French butter cup. It says press 1 cube of butter into the lid, which would be this part here. So basically fill this with butter, or put some butter in here, and then take the bottom part and put 1.5 inches of water in the bottom cup. Invert butter, so butter, invert into water, okay? And you can keep it out on your counter. It says the water will keep the butter fresh, soft, and spreadable. No need to refrigerate. So how cool is that, right? So I'm excited about this. I have not listed it yet. I don't know why I haven't listed it yet, but I don't know if there's others out there. I think I probably looked and didn't see something like this exactly, so I haven't listed it yet. But this is a really cool ceramic piece that you don't see every day, and things that you don't see every day are the kind of things that sell. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I already shared last week the Heron Martinez Mendoza candelabra. I probably shared this many times. I want to share it again just as a be on the lookout for. His stuff is super valuable. They're not all painted. Some of them are just plain like clay color. He does have a lot of birds like this, a lot of different candelabra type things. If you see them, they are old and they are valuable. So, you know, I think I told you I got that for $15 as part of an auction situation, and sold it for $250. So definitely be on the lookout for that. The last piece I'm going to share today, we're going to have a shorter than usual video, which is great, is this teapot. This is probably one of my favorite finds ever. It is 3 pieces. It is a base that the teapot sits on. It is a lid, beautiful lid, and it is a teapot. I believe this to be museum quality. It is phenomenally made, phenomenally glazed. It is just the work of a master. It is beautiful. It is signed McKnight, okay, which is great, except I can't find who made it. So I have shared this across the internet, a bunch of different groups on Facebook. There is a McKnight Potters, but this is not his. I can't remember where he was based. I think Philadelphia, somewhere in Pennsylvania, I think. But he said it's not his. So I don't know. So I really, you know, it's hard to list something when you don't quite know who made it. And so you don't really know much about it. I know, you know, from what I see, it's a spectacular piece, and it is one of my favorite finds. It is one of those things, you know, you see it in the store, you throw it in your cart, and you can't get out of there fast enough because it's like, oh my gosh, look at this thing. But yeah, so this is my favorite ceramic piece that I currently have here that I haven't listed yet. That, and, you know, my ladybug vase. I do have other ceramic pieces here. I just didn't want to make the video too long, and I wanted to just focus on some of the faves and things that y'all should be looking for when you're out and about. So I think that's all for today. I actually covered the amount that I spent. The clay things, I did not look up how much I spent on them because, or most of them, the middle ones here, because it's been a long time. I'd have to go pretty far back in my records. But it wasn't much. You know, I definitely didn't put a lot into those, and there's definitely a lot of potential value there. So, all right. Thank you for spending your Sunday with me. Please, please, please like this video. Subscribe so you can see what other amazing finds I have out there in the world. And let's see, like, subscribe, comment, please share. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely want to grow. I think we're at 11 now, so welcome to our new subscribers. All right, y'all, have a fabulous, fabulous week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.